Good day and salutations, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Togetherwerole.
You were a second.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. It was awesome.
No, you were good. It was perfect.
Okay. Corinne Mail, RPG Elements, and JD Arts. Thank you, and thank you for everything that you do. You do awesome work. People, please go check them out, all right?
We should put links to them.
They are.
They should be.
Links in the description.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Links in the description.
Links down below.
Actually, I think they're over there now. No, they're over there. Sorry.
No, no.
Depending on how YouTube wants to do it.
What history left our intrepid adventurers?
Let's get to the intro. David!
All right. See you in a moment.
See you in a moment.
I cannot help but notice the world is not the same as when we all got started, and we know who's to blame. No turning back now to try to be insane. For what's beyond the veil, too vivid to explain. Faceless behemoths haunt my dreams, seeking to steal my sanity. I will not stand down, won't back away, as long as you're with me. Together we roll, I'll fight for you, will you fight for me? Together we roll, I'll protect you, just as long as you stand with me. Together we roll.
Last time we left our intrepid adventurers, the Silver Menagerie,
Intrepid adventurers.
All right.
as the world burns, a very kind and ever so perfect in society, Rosian Empire is currently being eaten alive, at least on the outside view. They got something bad from the group, and they are currently doing what they do best as magicians. Doing
It
what
was
is good.
herpes!
Oh,
They're doing what is best for them.
keep on giving.
Anyway, as the world is literally on fire, and the other parts of the nations of Etrin is currently preparing for the onslaught of damnation and the flames of ruin, the times of change has come. You are clinging on to the time that you are borrowing from various great powers of past make. You met the Raven Queen. She forced information upon you, showing you be careful with your lack of fate-driven choices, and battled the orc, and kind of said fuck off to the Lord of Bit of Frost.
Gained some
Not
rep points.
kind of. It was legitimate.
Yeah.
In multiple languages, verbatim. Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Go run ass first.
You are currently in a hallway hundreds of feet long in either direction, after looting profusely and keeping the beetle.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As long as we have food. Although we're almost out.
Reggie, the Ranger Pete. He's
You gotta write a song.
I'll write a song about everything.
As you head towards the entrance of a specific library known as the Collection of Remembrance. As some of these motes of lights that have broken off the various mortal coils of the people that you just slew are actually traveling down the hallway with you, much slower pace than you, but still heading towards the location that you are heading towards. It is up to you on how you wish to proceed now. Are you going to camp now? Camp later? Talk about shit? What are you doing?
Golden bubble?
I can do Golden Bubble.
The Collection of
We're
Remembrance.
in a hallway though.
Do you want to do Golden Bubble in the library?
Vaguely
Do you-
familiar.
No, it's
Do a golden bubble in the library.
you're a dork.
God, I wish I had something to throw.
Golden bubble in the library sounds like a good idea.
Golden Bubble in the library.
Okay, yarn ball. I'm gonna throw a yarn ball.
Golden bubble.
Yes.
But not while I'm aware that it's going to be coming. If I see it coming, my reflexes will ruin it.
Now,
He
before,
has childlike reflexes.
so before you set up the golden bubble, you do realize that there is currently a 17-foot tall forged with your entities.
It's okay. I am a construct.
I mean, I could just put a sign up outside.
Someone spray some cold water on him.
Well, I'm wondering, could you act like one of those constructs that was there on the walls that came up to life when the Orc King decided to...
He's 3 times as big as them.
Yes, but no one else might know. He can stand still.
I'm going to shrink down eventually.
Have you noticed how everything is memory
He just strikes a
around
pose.
here?
I can
No.
I
No one
serve
will
her.
know.
I can just sit next to the bubble.
I think you're talking to yourself right now.
I am.
I'm actually looking right at you as I'm saying this, going, strike a pose up.
That's
But did you
memory.
hear what you
like
said?
Literally,
Yes,
it's
I-
all based around memory.
Yes,
and you
I-
just said that no one would know, implying that they wouldn't remember. And I just
Have you
it's very clearly just like you broke like between the slime off your belt and now you're talking again.
The
And
words are coming out of your mouth, and they're actually creating these ethereal, actual words, and they're just floating right past me. It's not even.
Have you ever been made of metal?
It's a visual representation.
I am partially made of metal. Well, you could say so. I have one of my foot as fixed because the artificer here.
Have you ever been made of metal?
Made of? No.
Good, because I am. We are not going to be working the same way.
Very good. All right, fine. Well, I figured you don't get tired, so you just stand.
I don't. That's why I'm going to just be outside the bubble. Why are we still arguing about this?
are we going into the library?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Can you fit through the door into the library?
I would certainly hope so. That would certainly impede our progress.
More greased turtles coming right up.
Approaching the door, you see a double door, 60-foot tall, grand doorway.
Oh, good.
Made of celestial silver and black gold, lined and even emboldened.
Can't
with
steal the
raw-
door.
That's what you think.
raw streams of shadow matter. Artistic depictions of celestial servants holding motes, carrying motes, and guiding the motes of light that would be the various different states of memory and or raw emotions towards a collective area to be studied, organized, and remembered. This massive doorframe is cut into a two-way walk path by the centermost area having a raise to it. You would initially think, oh, it's a place for smaller folk to stand, but it's only like a 4-foot tall landing strip that is at the center of the hallway so that you can either go to the left door or right door, not both. And it has at the very edge of this maybe 40-foot long landing strip path is rounded off with a pool of crimson. Yes.
That's you.
Nope,
little
nope,
turd.
nope,
Oh,
nope,
yeah,
nope,
catwalk.
nope. Just didn't derail everything.
Oh,
Nope.
the catwalk.
Oh, see, I was thinking, why do they call it a landing strip? When you build a landing strip in the
You
jungle, you bulldoze
bulldoze
the trees.
Thank you, Aaron. I
Anyway,
was there for that joke.
at the tip of this landing strip is a bowl of red crimson that brings of this strange moist iron to the air that has a bar of silver going up at the top of almost a silver raven's feather. And it takes you a few moments of trying to alright, as you start to hear flapping and rustling and slight little ravens crowing. And you notice that same lip that lines the entire hallway that is filled with hundreds upon hundreds of 3-foot, 4-foot, and even 6-foot long ravens that are currently over the lip and looking down towards the approaching entities that are going towards this library. And they start chittering, chattering, calling.
Do you have language thingy where you can listen to them? And know what
Before
they're saying?
one of the ravens that seems to be arguing with each other, and one of them literally gets pushed behind as the raven tumbles a little bit and then flies and lands at the base of the landing area and walks over and jumps onto the perch area this tea perch that is sitting above the pool.
I'm making.
Crimson.
I'm like making sure Reggie's staying inside bags. No, Reggie. There's plenty of dead food here. Stop it. I'm not going for the ravens. That would be bad.
Are you still smoldery?
Yes.
Marshmallow. As soon as you do that, seeing the ball of light disappearing, the raven gives a call. Ah! Welcome to the Raven's Library. I am Alm. I shall be your guide today. You have been given and granted permission into the library by the Raven herself. What did you throw?
Marshmallow. Roasted marshmallow. If that doesn't shut up for a few seconds of chewing, I don't know what will.
Well, just a moment. Let's hear the bird out.
With the natural
bird's not
20
gonna-
dex, it catches it in the air, takes it in one of the claws, holds it there. There, though. I am your guide. I'm also going to be the one to make sure that the rules of fate that is soon to be coming over you like a crashing tide will sweep you away immediately. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments about what you see in the library, just simply ask and I shall assist.
What do you have on the Lord of Bitter Frost?
Many things. This is a holy place. We do not speak about faith that often. We'd have plenty of memories, my friend.
I'd like it all.
We shall get to it. Now, please be aware that anything you break shall be on top of your tab that shall be growing at the end of it and shall be paid in full upon your departure of the library. If you break anything, of course.
I'm over there, like tapping on some little glass. What?
She blows away the glass.
It was broken when we got here.
Do we each get a question? How does this work?
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly the person to question. We're going into the library, right?
You're gonna rest in water?
Yes, we're going to rest. And while we're resting, because I don't actually need all that much rest, I want to do some research on the Lord of Bitter Frost.
Alright. Alright.
Because I'm like the one out of the loop on this dude.
First, entry fees are already paid, but I do mean names. And he kind of reaches back his mouth, open up the perch that he's standing on, fills with back energy with a scream of a raven times 20, 30, 50 as black emulation starts to billow out as a book, old, ancient, open in front of you. Please sign before entering.
Huntmaster.
Full name.
It is not kept.
It's simply for the raven.
Oh god. Captain Quinn Lassiter, Guardian of the Green, Master of the Hunt, Lord of the Bow, Duke of...
He's kind of eating the marshmallow slowly as you're doing.
We're gonna be here a while.
Flip the page.
I've got some titles.
5 minutes later.
No, legit, my character... As you've seen the backstory, he has titles.
The raven is currently picking off the marshmallow from his fingers. Damn it. It's kind of stuck to his paw. Next!
So I flipped the page over because you took a whole page, didn't you? You took a whole page?
Yeah, pretty much.
Look at that. I could do a whole page too with my titles.
He's
Ready?
right act really big.
Some old ravens. You see her flapping over his. Silence!
Was here.
I need you, Carl!
Little smile.
But he can't actually write with just like big swirls and then a line.
Congratulations, you are the second idiot that has done that.
In all of time and history!
Well, you're not even an original idiot. You're a duplicate idiot.
That's why Fate's stops the Fate line.
Duplicative.
Necklace of Darkness.
Someone said, thank you.
He said full name.
Yes.
Takes the little quill.
Necklace isn't something that's actually mine.
It's just another page long, but it's just one word. Your true name in Draconic.
If you do not wish the others to read it, it will not be read.
Reaches in, starts to get a little knapsack or whatever, like in a pocket rose, pulls out a little gold ink.
Fancy.
Bedeker in the Scandiscana state of
Ved Valakathar.
What?
Do you want
You
to be
can't
the
read
bread?
it anyway.
What?
Do you want to be the bread?
Sure.
Why not?
Huh? Of the various names that are in this tome, ancient and many languages, even languages you would be normally able to actually know the Nabine thing. Whatever thing you're trying to read that is not of your writing suddenly blurs and shrinks and moves in places that
I'm the only one who can write clearly here, apparently.
Your shit does that anyway.
Some people don't know how to write cleanly.
the Golden Coltwell's writing is clear as day. Unless it's in Draconic.
And I fist bump you. Oh, sorry.
I mean,
And
is the bird asking each of us, or are you just default assuming no?
what does yours say?
One more time?
Like, you only asked him about his being red. Is that
It's up to each individual person.
right? I mean, given my history, my name's in here a lot. I'm not worried about it.
Got it.
Like, if you flip back through, it's like, did you live here for 3 weeks? Like, it's, and yes, basically.
What did yours say again? I've never seen your name written down before. What does it say? Vediskar, what? It doesn't say Vedic though. I know. Look.
The name that will get me in this door is Ved Valakathar.
Vedvalakathar. Har.
He puts the ink in the quill in the bag.
Very good. Sparks, your turn.
I got the quill.
Yes, I just stole the quill. I'm still 17 feet tall.
The bird just plucks a feather.
Yeah, I was going to say, after a few minutes of no quill in the sight, he's going to roll a sleight of hand.
You know, no, I just put it in just. It would be deception roll. What?
Roll a deception.
God,
He rolled a natural 1.
Oh, good. I might have a prayer.
Stealing from the raven.
All right, I have a +1 modifier.
3.
4.
So with the -5, he has a 3.
Really?
Yeah, it's not the Raven Queen.
It's a raven.
It's a
raven.
It's a raven.
Y'all, it's a bird who guards the door. Like,
He's not very perceptive.
I thought it was special.
As he's currently picking the various.
I mean, he guards the door, but it's not like they put the best and brightest on this. You could guard a door.
And you notice that while he's playing catch the marshmallow, you're like, and just play his day. And you see various other ravens are currently looking down toward you. And they just kind of...
Yes, I would not put me near any books.
And he kind of looks around.
I don't see it. I need a quill.
He turns around. Make it quick.
Yank.
This is going to be hard.
What do you write?
J. F.
Bite the whole stick.
R.
The telling me to close upon you completion.
You wrote what?
As it folds in on itself and pops into black smoke.
Do all creatures of intellect have to sign it?
I mean, yes.
Bring it back.
She's this little silver dash, so tiny and so quick. Like the letters are so close together.
The size 1 font, it curses,
Size Arial Narrow. Yeah.
Italicized, underlined, bolded.
And I'm just gonna sign. I'm gonna hold up Charles. I'm gonna stick his paw in the inkwell and stamp it on, and then I'm in parentheses going to write Charles.
All right, Reggie. All right, Reggie. No, Reggie.
Just bites the
Bites the book.
He literally, as he comes on the paper, it bites the book.
Creatures of
Yeah, we
Only leaves the
intelligence.
mark on the paper,
That's it.
and that's
Creatures
it.
of intellect. Creatures of it. No.
Well, we had him sign too.
He was just talking to me minutes ago.
And surprisingly, or
That
not
wasn't
surprisingly, as you
it.
look back,
What?
the book is unmarked.
So didn't count.
Yeah. And suddenly,
Intelligence 1.
black energy flies up in the air into the floor that is etched with various holy symbols, imageries, and visions of celestial beings, the ravens, and the Raven Queen itself, as it crawls into the floor, into the door itself, and begins as internal workings unclog and unhinge and begins to open up as you feel the air as if some major creature is flapping its wings towards you, gusting wind towards you, icy bone
Negative
chill.
pressure kind of suck thing.
Pretty much, yes. As the doors open, as everyone, even those of heavier stature, begin to have to lean forward, not to physically be pushed away, as you can feel your internal beings seeing if it will deem access. And with the ravens behind you, you do not get pushed away. And you see the doors open.
What about Reggie?
He's attached to you.
He's attached to you.
All right.
He's biting you.
Because he's not intellectual.
Understatement.
She's outright already. Reggie.
You know, I'm looking for a natural 20, but, you know. Yeah, it's not getting through.
Reggie.
You find yourself looking into a chamber. Almost like a massive cylinder. Thousands of feet in each direction. And as you step into it, if you wish, as the raven starts doing almost like I would say a sassy walk, but it's more like a sore butt walk, as it's walking across the island that is at the center.
All the birds, they walk this way anyway.
Yeah, but his butt is sore right now because it just had a
quill on it.
Yeah, just pulled a quiddle out of his ass. As he begins walking across the pathway into the room, as hopefully you guys enter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A cylindrical room, spiraling up and up and up and up, of massive bookshelves made of celestial silvers and black gold, filled with books, scrolls, gems, and some of them placed with no bookshelves at all, but just replaced with these strange, dark, purplish gems, similar to tiny fragments of what you had.
To
Floating-
serve man. Oh, it's a cookbook.
Floating in between these cross sections of stairwells with floating pillars of
Klaatu
same
Barada. Who writes this stuff?
The lusty Argonian maid.
Oh god, yeah, that's in the forbidden section.
I do want to. Quill feathers are always from the wing. Quill feathers are from the wing.
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Quill feathers.
You don't
feathers
yank
come
them
from
from
the
the
wing.
ass. You yank them from the wing.
I know, but it was more funny.
But I wouldn't have done that.
But he did.
But
It's a magical bird. It has all of its feathers are quill feathers.
It has magical butt feathers.
I wouldn't have taken it.
It presented the butt. It's got a fetish. What do you want?
I didn't consent. That's not how this works.
To make you feel better, it wasn't an ass feather that you wrote with a quill. The one that's actually supposed to be a quill.
Just Sparks wrote with an ass feather.
Yeah, there you go. This is the important subject here. The air immediately fills with a cold moisture in the air, filled with iron and almost like a mildew smell, but like a clean mildew smell. One that opens up the nostrils to have it more filled with whatever is being smelled. Surprisingly, not a lot of books are in this chamber, as you see it start to lean to the left or right as it continues to spiral upward with no end in sight. Many of the center areas that are floating with these smaller cylindrical tubings of more of these organizational library houses that seem to move slowly to areas of platforms that go from one section to another. At the base where you stand, that has this natural funnel going down, rivers of crimson red that flow down in between various bookmarks, essentially, into pools that constantly swirl but never ripple. Again, a third time to the center. Of the various motes of light that are in this place, you only see a few entities that are housing and maintaining this area. A couple celestials, faceless black robes, wings of shadow. Much higher than you believe, but none at the base. The library seems to be empty. Leaving you, and only you, in the library of crystal memories. What would you like to do?
Long rest.
I assume that there's like a section of stuff that I have donated as part of my research.
Naturally.
That seems like a good place to set up.
Classic elven architecture and the arch movement. Meh. Poems for the blind. Meh.
Surprisingly,
Poems for the deaf. Okay.
And picking up some of these...
The brief and
Cooking for one. The Bachelor's Guide to Culinary Excellence.
the brief and impossible history of the Dwarven Navy.
And
Book up. They sunk. The end.
so these books...
Lexicon of Gnomon Inventorers. And they're like...
These books, even though when you take them out, they have the book shape.
Identifying poisonous herbs by taste.
Hey, people gotta find out herbs somehow. Where the pages would be, is replaced by this crystal of various shades and hues. You have not opened one yet.
The Evoker's Guide to Parenting.
And as you...
No, that's
This library is amazing.
As you climb the stairways to the heavens to find the area that is your research, where you donated stuff and stuff like that, guided by
You haven't read it yet. Why are you still laughing?
A practical guide to experimental summoning. Why you should never summon experimentally.
What went wrong? Some more of God's mistakes? And who is this God person anyway?
You're stealing that one.
Yeah, well.
Yes, who wouldn't?
the reason why mortals should not exist.
Fate is there for a reason.
The Dancing Wizard's Workbook.
As you climb layer after layer after layer of tall, impossibly tall bookshelves, at least several hundred feet tall, impossible for you to actually grab certain sections of. There are walkways to go from one level to another, and then you stop. No, signs or anything to describe where you need to go. At least as far as you can tell, you know exactly what you're looking for. It's not reading, it's remembering. And at a certain point, the raven that is guiding you guys stops at a point, flies off, lands at another point that is in between your segment, no railing whatsoever, as one of the stairways kind of just lifts and floats into place, allowing you passage as one of the floating cylindrical tubes that are books comes gradually coming over. That seems to have a entrance section to an inner workings of more housing devices inside. Many of them, these almost like talisman-sized purple crystals that dance with images within.
I see what they call a crystal memory.
I think mostly our goal here is to find a safe, out-of-the-way place to rest.
Mhm.
So
I have two things we need to find.
we'll go to the section on mathematics because no one's ever going to go there.
Really feel like the area where my dissertation is also a safe place.
Oh, really?
Ancient orc mathematics and mathematicians and warlords.
A practical guide to misdirection. The actual practical guide to misdirection.
Why you should never read this.
I prepared explosive rooms this morning.
As you guys do what you do best, Scott
Fuck around and find out.
Ow, lands out on your shoulder. By the way, before you split off and do your own little thing, don't worry, I got other buddies to take care of y'all. They speak to me and only to me, so I'm the one to speak to. But I have one impossibly important thing to ask. How you gonna eat that? He points over towards the ball of light next to your shoulder.
He's saving it for a special occasion.
Snap his beak a little bit.
Is that a creature that's lesser in reputation to me?
Yes. Oh, sorry, the raven?
Yeah.
Make a
Ooh,
performance check.
that's the catch, yeah, because there's some consequence that comes with positive consequences.
That's a 25.
25. So here's the thing. It's not a straight yes or no. The Raven Queen,
Is that even a creature? Is that just an intelligent,
it is a celestial, right off the bat. It is a celestial raven, 4 feet in length. It's a big ass raven.
Yeah.
One.
Big bird.
Sore ass raven is what it is.
Yes.
Wouldn't have taken it off.
The Raven Queen dwells in the Shadowfell and resides around the Unseelie Court. She takes part of it, but she is not
she's not a member.
she's not exactly, well, that's up to debate. She's the Lady Mystique, so she kind of, doesn't really tell everything, which is very important in the Unseelie Council. So, if it is a quote-quote member, which it might not be, but it might be based off of where it is, and especially since she's no longer here anymore, and with your performance check of
25.
25, you think you can pull weight on him?
Okay.
I was going to say, I'm going to pretend you never said that, and you should pretend you never saw it. And I'd like to make an intimidate check.
Make an intimidation check.
20.
20. He snap his beak a little bit. Ow. Understands.
What we need is to set up residence here for a bit of research. We'll be here approximately 8 to 10 hours. And I need you to make it clear that we're not to be disturbed, to divert people if necessary, to keep this as a safe haven for us.
Understand. By the way, the library wills other people to not bump into each other.
We're speaking of active pursuit.
Understood. I shall put several Raven guards around to scream their heads off if anyone approaches.
Wonderful. And to thank you for your
Dwarven
diligence.
poetry.
All of the memories that I had just collected, I'm donating to the
The
collection.
entire history of Dwarven.
Yeah.
So you present your lunch, and they begin to spill out as he immediately snaps one, grabs another in another hand, and immediately starts flying and miss.
Philosophy.
And immediately, in a few minutes, comes back. Thank you for your diligence. If you need anything, just scream loudly, say my name, or, I don't know, throw a marshmallow. That's always fun.
What at home? Dwarven drinking.
Enjoy your study. It's the Raven's Palace.
Dwarven Drinking 201 is this show.
Manual of Aquatic Beasts.
Baby names for half-orc, half-gnomes.
Ouch.
And those that actually start to look
Space
out
Marines.
from where you entered, you notice that the platform is actually lifted up and now you're just floating in space.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, just So all of these random shit I play out is actually books written by a past character of mine.
I assumed, yeah.
The Complete Idiot's Guide to Necromancy.
Raising a family, a necromancer's guide.
Children never die.
Medusa relationship guide. It's not you, it's your hair.
What would you like to do?
Be away from here.
I was requesting information on the Lord of Bitterfrost, just to bring my character up to level of understanding as the rest of the party.
Roll an investigation check with advantage because you are in a place of study.
I'm going to start tracking.
We stuck again, 38.
38. So, as you are diving into your mental purses, essentially, these pockets of information that should not exist, as your mental psyche is, for lack of a better term, immortal. You don't think yourself as that, but at the end of the day, you are currently immortal. And they kobolded that. Your mind is not supposed to handle such information. Killing a individual that has no longer has this mortal type, essentially, it requires special catalysts, essentially. And you've read exactly what you need in order to take care of it. This catalyte are basically, they're powered and then they're implied in order to bring the incantation here. Depending on the person that you are fighting that is beyond this mortal realm, it requires different types of catalysts that usually resonate with what type of entity they are, what type of, person of greater power. For the Lord of Bitterfrost specifically, you need, well, you can read off exactly.
Okay.
Didn't we get a whole thing from the Raven Queen about making him mortal again?
Yeah, this is how.
Yes, there's
The incantation
There
of
was
flesh.
two options, two
Incantation of
choices.
flesh,
One was to
okay.
raise. Yes.
Yeah, I don't like the second option. So
I
we'll
don't
do
like
this
the
one.
second one either. I am not going to.
Okay, the TLDR version of this.
Creator.
We need 3 separate sources of cold iron that have been especially treated in this way. They need to be buried and eroded in an icy or underground cavern for at least 100 years with a special Fey ceremony performed every blue moon by a very specific arrangement of Fey entities.
Wow, this is not going to be.
Oh yeah, let me just reach
Let me
into
just-
my
let me
bag
just
of holding
get that.
and pull those out of my ass.
You need to perform a ritual on it, and one of the key pieces of the ritual is we need to find the name of the first murdered Archfey. The very nature of the name and the ritual means that anybody who knows it forgets it very quickly.
So we're talking the very, very, very first Archfey that was ever.
Yeah.
So, why don't we just write it down?
Because then we'll have a name with no context.
And then you probably forget why you wrote it down or what
Yeah.
what it is.
Okay. We have to empty an emotion from a living host to drive the ceremonial Fey magics.
Easy.
Literally easy.
You step us on one side.
That's not objectively terrifying at all.
Literally her job description. See, creepy and mortifying.
I got no problem with. As long as she does it quiet like.
And once these special catalysts are applied to the Icy Lord's heart, he has to fail some saves.
We can help with that.
We can help with that. But once once 2 of them take hold, we have a minute to kill it.
So 10 rounds of combat.
We can do
Well,
that.
to clarify, it takes a minute for it to take hold.
Minute to take hold, and you can't kill him before that.
Debuff. Wait,
And there's
Make
a
him
chance
fall
for it to
down and not
activate
move.
earlier.
Got it.
put him in a force cage.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I got you.
So
Okay.
yeah, it has a chance to activate earlier, based off a D20 roll at the start of each turn that grows over time.
But
He
Isn't there
comes
like
back
a
in a minute.
cage that we can put him in, like a box or something?
Go.
Keep him from going anywhere?
maybe.
He goes to an ethereal.
Not to say that
plane.
there aren't
The
ways
same place
out
that
of
he
the
would-
cages that I know.
Well, not a
It's
cage.
exactly
like,
like
a
on
bubble.
the material.
Let's keep one discussion. Sorry,
What was your?
I
We're
go.
talking about banishing him for that minute.
Sparks, roll an intelligence check.
I know what I want to search for too, by the way.
Okay.
Hey, that's not terrible.
That is not. Intelligence?
I mean, your intelligence is terrible, but the dice are...
It's not that terrible. It's I have 13 intelligence. It's not bad. Modified 20.
Modified 20? Alright. What do you want to search for?
I
have not forgot about you, Kevin, by the way.
No,
either true resurrection or how to select a soul to put into a warforge.
Make another intelligence check.
Can I assist him with this?
No, because you did your
I'm
own.
gonna assist him to know it's a bad idea.
Look, on the care and feeding of mimics. Oh God!
Careful, I do have one.
That'll be a 14.
14. So, naturally, you have to explore the library. Various ravens show you where you need to go in terms of finding general subjects of what you're looking for. And then there's, naturally, after about an hour looking, there are forbidden subjects. You're having a hard time trying to find true resurrections and stuffing a soul into
a warforge, which is basically what I'm basically kind of effectively recreating myself.
You find various subjects on the memories of the feelings of those that are forcibly placed into such a thing. And as you open up the books or look at the crystals or step into these, no, we'll get to that later. You see memories play out and you can feel the raw emotion. Closing it, not really understanding, but because you don't really understand emotions. And you're having a hard time processing it. And then with that intelligence and having Vedic echo in your head of what you need, you can't help but pull a round from your chest. Look at a very specific cold iron round. And then it pops in your head. Why would a forged nation have rounds against Fae?
Why would a forged nation have cold iron and have a bullet already ready when I asked for it? Will this work?
What men know about women. It's empty. It's
You somehow
that's
found
200 empty pages. I just don't understand what.
it's just constant confusion.
Understanding women.
Knowing your
First
man.
paragraph. This is all subjective and most likely wrong.
Bondage and safe words, may they never meet.
Sparks walks up to you.
Will that work?
Has it been treated by a...
Make an Arcana check.
Let me ask you this. I just thought of this myself. Why would a forged nation have a bullet of cold iron already made upon asking for it before
27.
I even asked for it?
Yeah. It's ready.
It's just...
It's not powered, but it is ready for filling.
I would wonder, does Nyquist know anything about this? Maybe she has some history of what might between the nations.
How many movies do you have?
That one.
How many more can you...
I pull my cold
Can
iron
you get
dagger
back
that's
to
part
the-
of my, like,
Reaper's Sight?
field thing.
You only had one.
Was
I
that
bought it.
With that passive flash roll? No, that one is not.
No. It's got to be treated. That's
Wait a moment. Start pulling my
And
packs
being a
out.
person of your intelligence, these things don't just happen.
100
Really?
years.
Rituals are performed on a blue
Okay,
moon
hold up,
just by
hold up.
happenstance
Everyone
for
stop,
hundreds
stop,
of years?
Stop,
No, I mean-
stop. There is way too many coincidences going on at the exact same time. I just so happen to have a cold iron bullet to take on a very, 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 very ungodly, specifically, and difficult process to bind an archfey to then kill said archfey while there's multiple calamities all going on simultaneously in the same realm that was abandoned by gods many millennium ago, where everyone's this massive power struggle all at the exact same time. What the fuck?
I want you to imagine having seen this coming for, 200, 300, 400 years. It's like a great big stoplight. It's amazing. No, like it's a searchlight. Nobody else came up with it.
And I'm the only one that
This is not a
went
coincidence,
down with
though.
all this.
This can't be a coincidence. All of it happening at the exact same time. Everything. The only reason why we're able to do what we're doing is because we're going outside of time to make it work.
So we think, because
Wait,
we haven't got back yet.
If I'm following you here, and oh god, this hurts. You're suggesting, and I think you are, that we somehow either go back or send a message in time to have these bullets pre-made for us? Did I make that? Did I make that intelligence check personally?
Yes, you did. We're outside of the time, so what's to say that we can't
I
have
don't
that
know
happen?
if this has anything to do with it or not, but I have this shunk lodestone. I'm not sure if it's anything that might be.
I have one of those too. Or I had one of those. Maybe that is the one.
Absolutely not.
No,
It's a lodestone.
Good, yeah, Mike,
Magnus.
keep a hold of it.
Good. Right.
Make an intelligence check.
How many years? 100 and something years?
That's a 25 before I. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm for crying out loud. You were comparing notes with yourself.
You have a piece of cold iron, don't you?
What?
In a specific key?
Oh, the cold iron key!
Oh shit.
Box of keys.
I do have a box of keys.
The
There
cold iron
was
key.
cold iron in there.
There was a cold iron key.
There were cold iron keys, yeah.
There was one cold iron key.
Give me the box. You have the box.
Oh shit.
Does he?
You better not have spit it out.
Actually, I have the box.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah, he
say.
has the box.
I have the box of keys.
If
I
you
can't
have
find the box. I'm sorry.
I got it. You're okay.
Going back to
I actually wrote that down. I have the box of keys.
Mage hand, mage hand, mage hand, mage hand.
Aha! No.
Left.
I mean, aha!
That one just happened to be made of iron and somewhat cold.
make an Arcana check.
Arcana.
Oh, look at this. Key making, the cold irony.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 20? Yeah.
Hang on. I'm good. That's a 39.
39?
Wow.
It has the right hue, and it has that symbol that immediately erases itself from your mind as soon as you look away from it. It's ready.
We got another one. All right. Do we have another? Is there a third? Anybody have any cold iron?
How did we
Well,
get?
I'm not touching any.
I only
So,
have the dagger.
that's
It's
on you.
not
How
good
did we
for it.
get all these three pieces?
I have 2 of 3.
How did we get all these three
Okay,
pieces?
We're
okay.
in the
Stop with the 3 pieces first. Do you have any other cold iron? That's the current question.
What about your ring?
I don't.
The cold iron ring.
I'm not wearing a ring of cold iron. I am a fae.
Here,
Who are you talking to?
a big iron pot.
Someone wrote on the
Here's my
wall
pen.
in the library things
Wait.
I hate: vandalism, irony, lists, redundancy, lists.
What
Okay.
ring are you talking about?
Could have sworn you were given a ring at some point.
I was given a ring, but I was given a ring of mind shielding.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay.
Roll an intelligence with advantage.
I gotta go through all my stuff. I don't think so. I don't
And a
think.
ring of protection.
Natural 20.
Natural 20?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you specifically remember off the side of your vision. You don't remember what was said, but the Master of Grief did hand, in a rag, a
You didn't want to
ring
touch
of
because you
cold
mage-handed
iron to Nicholas.
Did you give me an item card for
It
it?
was a handwritten item.
Okay.
Because you did something with like your vestige thing that you put it on over the eye. Or something like
Put
that.
it on over the eye? What?
I remember something vaguely like that.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Again, all coincidences at the exact same time.
He specifically gave it to you upon your departure.
Sure. I just.
And let me guess, this is one of those scenarios where if you had told us, we wouldn't have believed you and would have happened this way.
Nope.
Yes.
That's the other dude.
Absolutely.
You give him a lot of credit.
I don't know what he can and can't see.
Yeah, but you always assume the answer is yes.
So,
He doesn't say no.
Brian, you wanted to look for the Lord of Bitterfrost.
Yeah.
Okay. With a natural 20, you said?
Not bad.
Yes.
Yeah. The Lord of Bitterfrost. The man of...
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. As you open up
He's a royal
tomes
asshole.
And these are tones, as you bring them up, and you go, and you're like, oh, wrong book. And you start to step around, and you start finding yourself in a crystalline structure of blues, purples, and swirling golds that has that strange optical illusion at the center of a inverted section, so that when you walk around, it looks like it's following you.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh wait, it's a area you can walk into, and you find yourself walking yourself into it, and you immediately start seeing memories of Faye. You start seeing memories of a younger, so much younger Lord of Bifrost. And you see a direct representation of his memories with a love. When he was on the Sealer Council, and the other member was on the Unsealer Council.
Back
at the
when he
time,
was just the Lord of Tasteless Condensation.
back when he was just
You've got dumber names than that.
during the time of being a conveyor of joy, a conveyor and random traveler of random chaos, things that would just entertain him on a whim.
So it's a chaotic chaos.
The problem is he was in the Sealer Council, and the person that he fell in love with on a musical moment was on the Unsealer Council. With a natural 20, you get the title, the Matron of Descent.
Oh, we know about her.
At least the title, yes, but the person bearing this title was brutally murdered by the Lord of Bitterfrost. Because during this time, it's not all the time, but during this time, the Unsealer Council and Sealer Council were at brutal odds.
Yeah, but at that time he was the Lord of Bland Dew.
Yes. He was a very good tamer. He had many creatures at his disposal. He hunted with them, he killed them, he hunted them. He was a person of in-the-moment excitement, and that never really left him. The Lord of Bitterfrost was, at the time, known as the Master of the Heart.
That's my title.
Titles can conflict sometimes. And then it turned into the Grand Master of the Hunt, and then turned into the Bringer of the Wilds.
And then the Lord of the Dance.
No. But as soon as he got there, he had to kill his only love. And Faye, their entire thing is emotion-driven.
Yeah.
Their magic, their structure, everything. The pain that he felt having to strike a blade into his love's heart was so powerful to him that he could not bear the beat of sorrow. And so to get away from it, because he's a person of just instant relief, he removed his heart, which removed all emotion. And he continually tried to freeze that heart so that it would not beat again. Would not beat the heart of sorrow. And as a counteractive, it brought him to the Unsealer Council, because this place of Sealer Council of celebration, joy, wild expression, suddenly... Exactly. So he now became an unsealing member. Started from the bottom and worked his way to the top. And you can't help of just the feeling of bitter... desperate need to remove this one bead of emotion that he has left. That he's now a helpless individual, and also just constant drawl of repeat and repeat. With natural 20, and these are flashes and memories, and you're not getting the whole part because he's still around. But he's tried to shake off these memories many times before, but they keep returning. And he, with a natural 20, roll another investigation check. This one would be...
Advantage or not? An advantage or not?
No, this will not be an investigation check. This is study of emotions. Going to make an insight check. with strength.
– 24.
24.
Man, you's on fire.
Going to add a D4 because of your favorite friend.
4. So 28.
Because she's also a person of emotion and just instantaneous, crazy.
Rage is an emotion too,
You're not there. You can't shake the feeling of all of it coming to a point that he feels will finally sever that one shred of himself. To finally be able to let go. To finally kill that emotion that he's trying to kill. And he does not care. He does
wants to
not
die.
care.
He wants that to be going away. So in that, can I find a likeness of the matron of dissent? Is there some depiction of her or description of what she looks like?
With a natural 20 investigation. Actually, roll another investigation. This is something different entirely.
27.
27? You do get an image.
Okay. I'm going to hold on to that in my memory, because at some
Okay.
point when we're going to be faced with him, I'm going to conjure that in one form or another.
Okay.
Whether it's phantasmal killer or minor illusion or something to that, but I am going to present him with that image of his most painful memories.
Well, the funny thing is, so it was a DC 25.
Okay.
The reason why it was so much so is because you find out one face, two faces, and then a face in transition to another.
Mm-hmm.
Roll an history arcana check.
History plus 8, 9.
9. This is an entity that you don't know what exactly is, but it's changing forms and changing its body, and makes it interesting in the bed. Which is actually funny enough where you get a lot of these changes and stuff like that. Apparently it's a very powerful image for him.
Changelings make great prostitutes, I got it.
Yes. Your character doesn't know it's a changeling, but it is a changeling.
Mm-hmm.
And you finally find an original face. Gray, slight things of gold, hair of moppy, wet, red. Thin.
It's always redheads.
Yep.
Just fuck everybody's shit up.
Thin, but
Been married to 3
beautiful,
All of them
with
named Brenda.
mischievous eyes of black and silver.
So we're killing a changeling.
She's
No.
already dead.
She's already dead. He brutally murdered her. But we're going to present him with her likeness in this encounter and make him feel all those emotions that he's been trying to bury, that he ripped his heart out over.
And then you hear discussion across the chasm, that is the room, with Sparks, Vedic, and Niquez, and X saying, "Ha ha! Pan!"
It's iron and it's cold. It would be hot iron.
So I don't know if
I
that was
used
on
to
a
cook with it,
note
but it's
thing
cold
on a
iron right now
different
because
character
I'm not
sheet.
cooking with it.
Yeah, you definitely do have.
Oh no, I found it.
Oh.
I have a question about it
Okay.
because I have a quoted
Lesbian
material
tactics for Rochambeau
from-
always throw scissors.
The Master of Grief. It says, there's a one-armed caster, give this to him, hands me cold iron ring. He will tell you where to retrieve the second part if needed.
Yes, but you never did that. But yet you have all three now.
50 Shades of Drow.
Amy's joking today.
So, I'm gonna open the bag of holding, reach in for an iron ring.
Cool, disappears. Catch the tail, catch the tail.
He cuts the tail. He's about
Most of what's in there is his.
Got it!
make an arcana check.
Hey, look, another copy of the Lusty Argonian made.
Another?
20.
20. You've successfully identified the other two. You have a strong suspicion that this is it. This is the third piece.
Who gave this to us again?
Can you not do that?
It gives a nice zing to
Part
it.
of the testing process.
You didn't do it to the bullet.
Mushrooms and
Who wants to
red
bite a
meat.
bullet?
Goblin
I'm
cooked
not
it.
taking that. It's cold iron. Swear to God,
He's
you always
tingling
want to
your
eat.
fingers.
Right, because you have Faye on your eye.
I get Fey nature. I mean,
Oh.
It doesn't exactly hurt, but
Oh,
it's kind of like
waving the
feeling.
pan in front of.
I'm gonna
Acidic
take my
material for
mage
too
hand. I'm
long.
gonna smack the pan so it hits your head.
I mean, it's cold. It's not meant to be a ring, but it's just a ring donut thing.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a ring.
Yeah.
It's like a big.
It's a band.
It's like a
Yeah,
big
it's a-
orcish gnome ring or orcish
Sure.
nose ring.
yeah, that'll fit.
But yeah, you guys have already kind of put it together. Something has already orchestrated this entire thing.
Somebody
Yeah.
asked a question.
Yeah.
What was the question?
What?
42.
It's not a coincidence that this is all lined up all the exact same time.
And our memories have been messed with.
Her
That's-
memories have.
It's almost as if there's some great, powerful entity, like sitting
Above
in a
what we're
chair behind a screen, manipulating,
Pushing buttons.
manipulating all of our fates to bring us to this moment.
Does the puppet master ring about any bells?
That's a
My next character is a cleric of the dungeon master. This is me begging the DM to let me get away with shit.
the puppet master is a fae. We already went through his store.
Gotcha.
That is not relevant.
Okay, then there's something farther above that's orchestrating all this crap.
Well, there's a person who tried to nudge us along to find these items before.
I'm so glad you noticed.
I'm gonna pick you up
What are you doing?
and I'm gonna shove you.
Out the door.
I don't. It's indeterminate.
generally that
Some
direction.
little direction die. It's
Alright.
not that thought out.
Scatter die. That way.
I don't know what that means.
Wherever you want
Oh,
to go.
that's directly.
You
that's
throw him straight up.
Catches onto a book, lands, opens it up, goes, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, a treatise and treasury of beholders."
If you're gonna be predictive magic bullshit, use your words and help us!
Maybe not us telling ourselves to go back in time and do this, but something did exactly that.
The Master of Grief is the one who gave us the Iron Ring, and he also tried to tell us to go pursue a second item.
A brief history of contributive kobolds. They're not. That's it.
Could it just be him then?
He's not that powerful.
It's just-
Somebody
it's just
maneuvered
brief
him.
things.
That's absolutely without a doubt.
The simple fact is things have been manipulated to bring us to this point. But that doesn't change our responsibility to bring about the end of this entity.
What is
Now
your-
we simply have the tools that we would have needed.
What about Drake?
Ooh. I've never met Drake.
No, you know.
What about Drake?
He's got that funny book.
You're
Yeah.
It's not a
implying
funny book.
And the kingdom is being eaten.
you're implying that Drake manipulated time and history to serve the benefit of others.
I mean,
No, it's
if
a
you
stretch.
ask him-
It's a stretch.
So,
I mean, if you ask him, he'll
so
say
we
yeah.
needed the 3 items. Like going back to your whole.
You needed as many as possible, but yes.
We needed 3 items. We needed to enact this ritual. A minute takes a minute for him to become fully mortal, and then we can kill him.
So is that minute the time that he's literally trying to kill us for a minute?
Yes. Yes.
So we put him in a box.
So we take a nap and then we put him in a box.
Why don't we put him in the box first? Because he's trying to kill us.
Because
the
I
entire
need
time.
8 hours before we try to put him into a box.
I think we can all agree we should stay here and do some more research. While
Yeah, I think
about
Vedic.
8 hours worth of research.
I think Vedic and I should probably do some research. Everyone else
we
takes
should
the
do
rest.
We should do a lot more research because I just found the adult section. It's got
Pictures.
pictures. Yes.
This one's
Those are called memories.
This is a pop-up book.
Those are called memories. Those aren't pictures. Those are memories.
You found the adult VR section. Congratulations.
Those are memories, not pictures.
I'm going to murder him.
She's talking about the player, not the character.
I'm going to feed him to a Tarrasque.
Short and stout. Dwarven brewing techniques.
Okay, so book gag aside, just for like 2 minutes. If you don't fucking mind.
Can't. It's this episode's zombie jokes.
Oh my god.
Brain.
We've got the 3 things. Do we have an understanding of the ritual? Is that a you thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay. So, what does it take to do the ritual? Do you need time? Do you need access to him?
The most important
do you need
thing.
me to sacrifice a bunch of virgins? Because I've
got
more
a
than
bunch
one way
of
to sacrifice a virgin.
Just keep sacrificing virgins, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Yeah.
Well, we need to find the heart. And we need to empower the items in question. with
Should we empower the items first, or should we find the heart first?
How long does the power last once you're
You
empowered?
know, the instruction manual in these ancient rituals is not what it should be.
Once
I'm
they're
guessing
powered, they're powered.
Okay, thank you.
It assumes you
I
already
mean,
know
if
the
you wait
process.
100 years, you might need to
The items,
empower them.
the items are already powered.
It assumes you already know the
Enact
power.
ritual. We need
They are
to-
not empowered.
They have to be empowered with an emotion of great force. An emotion entirely emptied from a living host.
So we have to give up an emotion.
It has to be not just you have to give
How
an
do you-
emotion. Like
how do you
I'm
give
no
it up?
longer going to feel strongly about baked goods. It has to be.
Yeah.
You said from a living host? Easy peasy. Who wants to give up what?
I'm not giving up my snark.
I don't feel all that strong.
The sorrow I felt when I had to kill my father a second time.
1, that's not enough. 2,
Oh.
do you constitute as living?
Rage.
No.
Like, I'm not trying to be a
fear.
dick, I'm asking. Does he constitute as living?
Fearless.
I believe so.
I think the
I can
only
be
thing
killed.
that might be
Probably.
strong
He's got the
enough is-
emotion.
Okay. What
Who?
does Charles?
Huh?
Charles immediately comes out of the box.
Charles have what?
No. We need somebody like oh god, what was it? That orc king we just killed would have been perfect.
Okay. But I'm asking, like, is it a sentience thing? Is it an intelligence metric?
I believe it's a
And
it's a strength of emotion which tends to correlate positively with
the
Don't you have
one
crystal
thing
like
that
that?
is the one emotion that is tied to me in most in part of my
I don't think it's
soul
us. I don't. Or,
Don't you have a
is
crystal
my
for that?
rage. But if I were to give that up, it
If I
would
can't
truly-
sacrifice is stupid, I don't care.
Don't you have a crystal of the guy's rage?
That's. I don't believe he constituted as living, but we could give it a shot.
Because that's pretty powerful as it is.
And it was just donated.
Yeah,
Literally
I
just.
donated it into my collection, which means I can take
so
it back out.
It's in that purple crystal next to you.
Exactly. I was like, yo, put it in the library, give me cool points, but that's all I care about. Like,
So what if? So we need to give up. So what if some of us, several of us, chose to give up an emotion?
it would, as long as it's one of great enough intensity. It would need to be something I'm willing to bet. It needs to be something recent enough and oh shit enough.
and I like baked goods.
The power to kill the Lord of Frost. The love of baked goods.
God, I love that pastry.
Brian,
I'm so glad
you invited me.
You know, I can actually go for a pastry. I don't need a pastry
I missed
anymore.
being
I can go for
another
pastry.
player at the table with you and inflicting our bullshit on someone else.
I could go for pastry now.
Nick, not so excited you invited me.
I think my rage would be the strongest of all.
Did we get these emotions back?
No.
But I
No.
don't think you ever get them back.
Okay, then stop offering the thing that makes you useful. Stop. Does my irritation with him count?
It is a very strong emotion. It's a very strong emotion. Yes. Let's put that one down because then you'll have to stop being irritated but then you start liking him.
Those are not the same.
But
No,
would
you just have to start a
But
new
she would have to be not
irritation.
irritated with me.
We're going to have to find a source.
I would get
and I
to
don't
be
think
not
we're going to find that
irritated.
source in this part.
I don't think we're gonna find that here. Aside from that crystal that you have.
We can try the crystal.
Wait a minute. I can see the future. All right, so augury.
Augury.
I just want a wheeler well.
4.
The sources that we need to empower the artifact. The thing that wheel is you propose something that you're going to do. We are going to attempt to source it within this party. Wheeler well.
We will.
A little above.
The thing about emotion is so vague. Depending on the motion you pick in each person, will depict whether it's successful. I mean, hell, your player characters, all of you have tragic backstory.
I do not.
I'm not.
You live tragedy.
You are tragedy.
I enjoy tragedy. I'm not tragic.
You have a tragic backstory.
My dad's just a dick.
Sure.
I'm a grad student.
You were a
who
slave. I was a
studies
slave. I had to kill my father twice. You had to kill your friends. Literally, figuratively.
Dude, I joined the military. I don't know what's the matter with all y'all.
Right?
got dumped by like 300
you
people.
went military, I went
Thrown off the
academia.
celestial mountain.
I'm perfectly happy.
You get dumped by a dragon.
This is not helping.
Okay, so, notion.
Oh my god.
Give away.
What if I just kind of like siphon all?
He's your minion. I say that as someone currently designated as your minion, so...
Siphon Aeronet's loyalty.
Or everything.
Do we
You
hate
know.
Aeronet that badly?
Do you?
What do we siphon Aeronet's loyalty, his fear, and your
My
irritation?
fear for what? No, I shed my fear a while ago.
Did you?
Yes,
heights.
he's got a medal to...
Of heights, I can now stand 12 feet above the ground and not piss
So, just for clarification.
my pants because I don't wear them.
It's just really just peeing.
So, just for clarification, with your arcana and everything, you would know that you will not. To power it is to the level of emotion behind of the force that you're trying to apply into it. You will fill it with that emotion, and the emotion that you place into it, whatever it might be, a memory, a fragment of power that you rule by, or some brand of loyalty, whatever, you'll see it as like almost like an outside point of view, like it's someone else's story.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll know that, like, oh yeah, I did that, but you won't have that level of placement of emotion inside of you anymore. Just to make sure that you are aware of what you're placing in.
Sure.
I would like to get rid of that, honestly. That sucked.
I'm just saying, what's the point in having a minion if you don't try?
So I
I'm just saying,
volunteer my grief
We
as
could
one.
find... I think we could source it some other way. I don't know.
How would you source it?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Does it have to be a single source? Can we stack them?
I wonder if I could conjure one of those orcish things back.
Well, let's start with, does it work with here's memory from Orc King?
That's a good idea.
Good idea. That's a great idea.
It's in my collection. Like, I
The
can
Rage of the Orc
pull it
King.
back out. Yeah.
Rage of the Orc King.
It wasn't the Rage of the Orc King.
Rage
It was
the
the
rage
rage of the dude that the
at-
Orc King betrayed
Yeah.
because I collect.
Oh, I remember,
Now-
I remember that. It's in the
Now it's Rage of the Orc King.
See, I actually
Swear to
remember
God,
that
I'm
one.
just gonna put
Oh, there's
it
shit down there.
Next time we encounter orcs, X will be like, fuck off, I'm your king. And they'll be like, whatever, and throw spears at him. You think you got some bony tooth necklace? We're gonna give a shit what you have to say?
I mean, one
But
maybe
this
one
one
elder,
was
but
his
you know.
tooth. Ow.
Okay,
No, I
time to die.
think that's a great idea.
Okay. So, well, off the shelf. Here you go.
You got 3
Do
items.
as you must, ritual boy.
Ring, key, and bullet.
And it's less than 12 hours old, so it is collected from more. And this is a powerful emotion. The emotion that it carries is the soldier saying "fuck you" to his boss for being forcibly used as a living cyborg, essentially, and then forced to serve forever. So, with this powerful emotion of betrayal, rage, and I will take you down with me kind of energy. You are placing it into it. Gonna roll
Let's do the bullet.
the bullet. I like it. I like it. Gonna roll.
It's a very, very angry bullet.
Gonna roll an Arcana check.
So what were the three items we had? We had the
Bullet,
bullet.
key,
Very
ring.
magician.
We have the angry bullet, the sad key,
The angry bullet.
and the horny cock ring. Got it.
Not my
We need a
card.
bard.
Okay,
Too small.
come look at that.
We need a bard for that
Natural
one.
20?
Oh, among other things, yeah. So,
I mean, you have the ring.
All right, because you're doing your thing. All right, so natural 20 with a 1. Okay.
That's 26 plus 11.
37!
Okay, so you're going to be rolling advantage on guiding this emotion through the proper channels, essentially. It is a emotion that is less than 24 hours old from a quote-unquote living host. Technically, he wasn't living, but technically he wasn't dead either.
He had a soul. Because that's the same
He
thing.
had a soul,
argue
yes.
if I'm
He
living.
had emotions that was being suppressed, and then it all released at one given interval. Going to roll
Someone say it's a little pent up emotion.
with a... Can I have the character sheet of Spikefist?
Of.
Spike fist.
Oh,
Wherever it
Turn
went.
F.
You threw it on my stuff. Why did you do that?
Wants to melt on his wall for a trophy.
No, that's
Then it
on
goes in
Ek.
his stuff.
That's already on Ek.
This is going to be a constitution for his emotion. Going to roll a d20 plus 7 with advantage.
an 8 and an 18. 18 plus 7 is, quick math, 26.
26. What is a DC 26 on the list that I gave you?
18 plus 7 is 25.
25.
But it's
25.
25.
The catalyst is powered. The Lord has neither advantage or disadvantage against this cold iron catalyst.
Cool.
It is done.
That's a good one for the
As you
board.
finish the incantations and as the rage, as you feel the anger almost vibrate in your hands into the tip of the bullet, you see ancient fey magics and scrolling complete on the round itself, giving a dull red to it.
So, that ring that I'm currently holding, that moment when I was upside down on the wall with 2 harpoons in my chest, moments from death, I'm going to pour all of that fear that I felt in that moment.
It was the first time that you've been in
That
that.
is the closest I've ever been to death. And I'm going to pour that fear, that sense of mortality into this ring.
All right. Roll a persuasion. You do not need to roll Arcana because you're not transferring a memory from one thing to another.
Cool.
35.
What is a DC 35?
Good lord.
The catalyst is considered absolute. The emotion within this catalyst is such pure and utter singularity of raw emotional power and then magical. The magic within the Fey realm considers this to be an absolute, meaning the Lord will fail his save against the cold iron catalyst regardless of skill or ability.
It is powered. And now you're neutral about the entire thing. Honestly, you didn't really learn anything.
Yeah, I didn't really know it. Yeah, I have no sense of self-preservation anymore, which is going to come back to bite me. Like, oh, is that my spleen? Oh, well, I'm just going to stand in here and take 2 more of those hits.
And honestly, you thought the Shadowfell would be a lot scarier.
Yeah,
I mean,
I totally thought this would be a lot scarier.
yeah.
There's going to be some very negative effects to me giving up my sense of self-preservation, but it was actually a very strong emotion for the character in
Yes,
that moment.
it
Like,
was.
holy shit, I'm about to die.
And now it's
Yeah.
I was about to die.
So I have a second.
So do we have one
and
more?
with a pulsing ring of almost like a pulsing gray to it.
Yeah.
It is completely powered.
It's,
And,
I envision it's not so much it's pulsing with light as it's sucking the light out of the surrounding area. It is pulsing with darkness.
and now you have one. The key.
2. Yeah, 1 left. So
left.
we need to power
I've got
that
mine.
with something.
That's got hold though. It's been like 6 months.
Guilt.
Do you wish to give that up?
The guilt of me causing my own father figure's death? Yes! I would like to give that up. That has been on my shoulders since it happened. I've been trying to find ways to circumvent and fix it for the entire time you have known me.
That's true. You've been seeking ways
Now
to
it's an
actually
opportunity for you to
raise
not
him.
only get rid of it, but to put it to use to accomplish something good.
And then maybe somewhere down the road I find true resurrection, but we'll get there eventually.
Maybe a couple more levels.
You may not find yourself wanting to pursue that anymore.
Simply because I don't have the guilt does not mean that I do not want to right or wrong.
You wish to try that one?
Go for it. I like it.
I have several as well. but-
I will take the key and channel
Your smell
every
is not
bit-
something we can,
No.
replay that entire
You'll never
moment.
get rid of that. I will never get rid of that.
My father figure mercilessly slaughtered in front of me with me doing literally nothing, and the guilt of me having to then kill my father figure, burn his body, and then return to my mother figure and tell her that I had to do such things and that she couldn't go see where he was buried because he was burned.
As you clench this cold iron key
Beginning of season 1.
fragment, remembering the memories, reliving something that you've been running away for so long, desperately trying to figure out how to right a wrong, your entire adventure through the world. A world that was so infinitely small and yet so enriching. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Saving throw.
Yes.
Actually,
Just straight up wisdom.
it's like,
No, saving throw. We'll keep it saving throw. I already said it.
Pull up
Okay.
slower.
Well, I've got a -2 for my wisdom, so that'd be a 19.
19. As you begin to pour this into the catalyst,
My sheet's still
you realize quickly that it's not just taking the grief of it all. It's also taking part of the drive on the reason you're even out here, doing what you're doing. Would you like to continue? And with a 19, you know you won't care to finish the job that you've came here for once you pour it in. You'll have no reason. You'll just move on with your life.
We're at the moment crossroads. Continue? Yes? No. Have the ability to complete the mission and be a soldier like you were before, or lose your humanity. Lose your humanity, or keep your humanity and potentially fail the mission. That is a very hard choice.
Dice. We live and die by the roll of the dice.
This is a full character moment. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Will you still have purpose?
There's this,
Your purpose should be greater than just
there's
yourself.
this really old theory on making decisions is you decide to flip a coin, and the moment you flip the coin, you will know which way you want it to land, and that tells you how you should make the decision, not the actual landing of the coin. But not until you actually flip the coin will you know.
And now roll for persuasion.
He doesn't need to roll! He doesn't!
Just kidding, I'm joking.
33.
Just joking.
Well, it is a D4.
That was...
Take a D2.
Yeah. Nice to have a D2.
Yes, he does.
There you go. Alright, as soon as you flip it, you'll know what you want it to be. So you can flip it and not tell us necessarily which one is which. But you'll know.
Quite literally, spent my entire life after I left that home just trying to become human. Be me. Can't leave that.
And you feel the drive remain. The catalyst is not filled. You've been part of it.
All right, I'd like to offer one. The regret, where I failed my brother Ga, and I essentially, he called me a failure in my eyes. Where he didn't really call me that. He knew. He looked at me and said, and I knew I had failed him because I had betrayed him.
When?
When we separated.
So he didn't call you failure.
He didn't
failure.
actually use those words.
No, he was apologizing, and you just kind of left. Are you guilty because you never went back and tried again?
I always called family my strongest point, yet I let him, one of my closest family members, just essentially cut loose from my life, and I didn't follow. I didn't have a good reason to let him go. I felt I had to go to a different path, and I've always thought that was not fair to him when he was so loyal to me, and yet I didn't show the same loyalty to him.
All right. Roll an insight check on yourself. 2. You're trying to swallow something that you haven't really even digested yet. You don't even know how to put it into words. I'm not saying you need to put it into words. You feel something in there. You feel something that you could have chased, you could have asked, you could have pondered, you could have done something, but you just didn't. Then you realize, after one thing happened, I just walked away.
But I know that there's opportunity where I can fix it.
Possibly. But as
Yes,
you
I
already
think there is.
learned now, time is everything. And the moment is now. And once you let the moment pass, you can't get that moment back. Would you like to power the catalyst?
I don't believe it's. I don't think this is going to be a strong enough of emotion to do it.
If that's what you believe with the 2. You care enough to bring it up, though.
Well, let me
You
see.
think it's powerful enough.
Let me try.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Roll a strength check. This is the strength of your personality.
Strength check.
Yes.
That's nicer than making you roll charisma for it.
Well, emotion comes in many shapes and forms. With a barbarian, strength through muscle. Emotion through...
Does your new thing impact this?
No.
No.
No, it does not.
What's that for?
Constitution.
Saves. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Saves, yes.
Yeah.
And Constitution was the other element, so. But this is straight up a plus modifier, so 21.
21. As you empty yourself into the catalyst, feeling this lump that you haven't processed yet, a lump that you think is powerful enough, you think it's able to power the force of will of putting into something that you don't really understand yet, and you don't really care anyway. Welcome. You're out here right now saving the world. He's not. What is the catalyst at a DC 20?
DC 20. I believe the catalyst
Well,
is poorly powered.
you would be able to tell us this?
Sure.
You can roll Arcana to see how well it's maintained.
The Lord will roll advantage against this catalyst.
I
So
don't think it's.
the catalyst is complete.
I would have done that better.
You're emptied of that emotion, and you're like, whatever.
But we rolled the dice.
Well,
So we have one that he rolls even, one that that he fails, and one that he rolls advantage.
So one of
Pretty
each,
split
basically.
right there.
One of each.
Yeah.
fails or rolls at disadvantage?
No, he absolutely fails
And
against
now that
mine.
it's
a guaranteed
charged,
fail.
we cannot charge it with anything stronger.
So you have one absolute, which is
Alright.
failure regardless of what happens, one with advantage, and one with the disadvantage.
And we can't recharge it?
Once it's filled,
When
it's filled.
when he rolls, can we like do all of our fuckery? Like,
You can definitely
like
try.
no, we're gonna negate your advantage and give you -8, and go ahead and take another
Yeah, I mean,
-4.
that's what
and
you guys are
roll,
built on.
Roll twice. And
Debuffs. Buffs and debuffs.
yeah.
It's 2 fighters and
We
buffs
don't,
and debuffs.
like these two deal damage. The rest of us just make them roll extra dice and, and fuckery.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the catalysi are filled.
Catalysts.
One
The
catalyst, 2
catalysts are
catalysts.
filled and ready, weaponized. And you have the key that has happened to be also a catalyst to the Lord of Bitterfrost's personal chambers. And not a T by itself. And now you just need to know where his chambers are.
And that's
Hey,
where-
Raven. I got a question for you.
That's so random.
My
Wow.
name is
Okay.
Om.
No, with your mouth.
You don't have a beak. I'm sorry. Oh,
That was my mother.
Is it within the purview of this library to know the location of the heart of the Lord of Bitterfrost?
Unfortunately, if they have not deceased, it is not public information.
It's right here.
I didn't ask if it was public.
however,
information.
didn't we come to this to find a memory where you
That's
could find
the
where it
Hall of
was?
Crystal memory, what we're not in yet.
Yes, we're not in yet.
I don't know. You two were talking.
Are we in the hall? Oh, no, we're in the hall because we're in the
Two people were talking at once. What was the question?
I realize it's not public information, but is it within the purview of this library?
Possibly, but not in areas that you're allowed.
Well,
Why not?
are you sure I'm not allowed? Persuasion?
Sure.
17 plus 19. 36.
You're a very sexy man in a place that is nothing but drool, depressing, and shadows. I don't like that. I will help you where I can. I do not know where these memories are. I know it exists somewhere, but I am not pertinent of that information. But I know where it can lie. I can sense it.
Put us in the right area of the library.
He looks over towards Nicholas.
Ah. There. It's in my brain.
Oh,
But we can't get it. And that's why we need to go to the
That's
hall.
what Hall Crystal memory.
Crystal
Right.
memory. That's you touch me, I will kill you.
The librarian.
My thoughts to your thoughts.
No.
My mind to your mind.
Librarian
killed it.
Orion might
No.
have this ability to help.
Counterspell.
That's an
Counterspell.
Counterspell doesn't work on that, right?
On what?
The ring of mind shielding?
no.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Dispel
Like
magic.
that's just a
Dispel
permanent. Like if you go at my brain, you're like, "Hello," and I go, "No."
It's like hitting a brick wall.
Flappy Quicks, look at her for a second.
We're literally going to try to unlock this memory. If
I
I,
know.
could,
But-
I would let you, but I'm not letting you in my brain
But
because
at
you
one-
don't know what you're doing.
But at one point, we actually discussed, you specifically were like, maybe we should let Quinn into my brain. Because I was the one
because
person.
we were talking about doing it,
But,
it was a relative thing.
yeah,
we could have used that when her fear of us being in her head.
that would be a good one. Because that would be a legitimate, strong fear. Of the two of them rutting around in your brain.
Going, what's this?
What's this? What's this?
Hey, if
There's
you poke
shit
it,
everywhere.
if you poke right
this?
here really hard, she pees herself. But if the memory is trapped in your brain, perhaps that is where
A small raven arm or wing. Librarian Orion is a master of mental arts and mental unlucky. Perhaps you want to speak to him, he's downstairs.
Oh, you want to go speak to the Orlean Raven?
He is a celestial, not part of the diplomacy thing that, Fae are a part of.
I think that we should sleep first.
Very well.
Bubble.
We go to the archaeology section. Nobody ever goes to the archaeology section.
That's why he's always alone. Anyway, so you set up the bow, you rest. At this time, everything grows around you, Sparks, including the people next to you, as you're reduced down to 7 feet in stature.
Yay! I fit again. I want to get big again. That was fun. Might come in useful in combat. I know how to use it now, though.
I've only done that once. I've only done that once. I had one as well. It was good. However, I could really. There's a couple other abilities here. This medallion, not the new thing I just got. It was my earthen.
2 things. 1, I'm going to try and find information about vestige. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. It's one of these. It's one of these things. It's in here. I know it is.
Digging
It's
around
right
in
here.
your
Here.
packs.
No.
Should really organize your packs.
Soul of the Further. I'm trying to figure out any information on that.
Alright, make an investigation check. As you guys bed down, I'm assuming?
Yep.
I'm just going to be kind of wandering
I'll
around
take
looking
watch.
for this.
Okay.
Not 1.
Not one? Yeah, you're probably looking under a wrong name, or there's something about it that you're not looking up right. Yeah, you're getting the 404 not found. Alright.
When in doubt, look inside yourself.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where I'm looking. So I'm just gonna, instead of looking around, I'm just looking inside myself. For the
26.
time.
26 for...
I'm keeping watch.
Oh, keeping watch?
Over the
Not
party.
much really to report.
I understand that, but I'm keeping guard over the party because I'm not comfortable in this place.
No worries. And yeah, very understandable. Of the
I have a
various...
vestige. It matches my hattage and my shoeage.
The only really entities that you have to in order to see during the watch as everyone's bedding down is that you see various celestial beings that are about 7-8 feet tall in stature with 3 pairs of wings that are flying around from shelf to shelf, seemingly organizing, studying.
Putting back all the books that we've moved.
Pretty much. But no, that is more a specific job for the ravens themselves. As you see ravens, every time you place a book down without putting it back or putting it in the wrong order, which I know most of you do, several ravens come over, fly it back to where it needs to go. And they do it with immaculate precision. They just grab one talon, and as they go close to where they need to place it, books, and he places it back within one talon as he's flying.
Rest well, my friends. I will keep watch.
I'll be here as well.
And
look inside
congratulations,
Also,
everyone.
elf trance.
Yep, 4 hours. You completed your long
No, I'm
rest.
saying like the 3 of us are awake
don't
and you're
sleep.
like, rest well, my friend, and we're both just like,
I don't
"We're
sleep.
gonna go?"
I'm all.
Yeah. I'm snoring like
Literally, these are the 2 that are the only ones that sleep.
They're
We don't
passed
sleep.
out. Charles is doing a little leg kick, and the 3 of us are just like, what is
You guys want to play chess?
Got any 4s? Playing Go Fish with the deck of many things. Got any death?
I got Void.
all out of death.
Didn't expect such a rush.
Go Fish.
You got Void?
And congratulations, everyone but Quinn levels up. Da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da.
Now, this is usually where I would end it, but I want to get to one specific moment to hand it off before we end tonight's session.
Okay.
I need to look
We
at that.
rise the next morning. We're
You
well
rise-
rested, refreshed, and spell slotted.
And it's
Well,
hard to
my
tell on
character
how long you rested because there's no light to really base it off of in terms of a natural day-night
We're
cycle.
outside the.
I judge by how often I can refill my coffee mug.
Waking up, seeing a shaky Quinn.
It stopped refilling. Clearly, it's been 12 hours.
The raven pops down. Owl has spoken to librarian Orion. Would you like to meet him?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. Let's do it.
On me! And flies off. And there's like no stairway to follow him until
I was gonna say I was about to jump.
Don't do that.
and within the next 20 minutes or so, times we're here, you find yourself looking at a pool at the base of a foundation that is several hundred feet up from the area that you've walked into. At a subsection circle area that's inside this cylinder, at least 100 feet long in total diameter, that has a singular pool of crimson at the center. With various sitting arrangements all over the place around this pool of crimson that has that irony smell to it. And as you approach, walking out of this pool, this steel pool that does not ripple and does not soak into the entity that steps out of it as if he was just walking through a corridor normally. A 9-foot tall celestial being of snow-white skin, piercing yellow-purple eyes, and black wings, adorned with armor and robes from the hip down.
Wow.
And as he makes eye contact to each and one of you, it's as if it's piercing into you and through you. It seems to lay heavily on the golden kobold. How may these humble servants of the Raven serve the Chosen?
Chosen?
Chosen. What?
I am overjoyed, even though he has a placid face, to see a blessing to come to me once again.
Once again?
It was a long time since I've seen the last Chosen. The gods have left. Remade.
I was wondering if it was we've been here before. Have we been here before?
I get a sneaking suspicion that the Raven Queen has been pushing things around to make things line up this way.
What? No.
Odds playing manipulation games? What are you
This
talking
makes sense why, trump card. We are said trump card to the calamities that are happening all at once.
Come on. We're like a joker at best. We have no trump card.
We're lucky we're not the rules of poker.
At least we're useful.
We're
We're the inspected by number 37 that
yes.
made it into the deck.
Skaom.
Oh.
The bird.
The bird. Mentioned a mental blockage.
We need to work on our
Needed some working.
Oh. Why?
That's a horrifying way to phrase it, but yes, my memories have been manipulated.
There's a hope.
He motions towards a chair that's open as it
There's a mental blockage.
seems to position itself more comfortably. If you will.
And you are?
I am a humble solar to the Raven Queen.
Soul. What?
Insight?
So long.
Make an insight check or religion check, your choice.
Yeah, one of those is gonna happen.
Okay. Just casually talking to a solar.
I don't understand what your question is.
You don't know what a solar is.
Must
You
be
don't-
two-
You
must
know what
be
a solar
Tuesday.
is? You know what a solar is?
That becomes an 18 for insight.
Insight?
Yeah,
For
actually
a
he does.
person
I do.
that
Actually,
What'd you roll?
17.
is dwelling with both positive and negative energies based off his eyesight, seemingly coursing through his veins.
Very powerful deity.
Angel.
Angel.
It's definitely an angel of
17.
some sort. Solar doesn't really hit any notes in particular.
Okay.
Aranet seems to be sweating.
I more care about the Raven Queen part, but sure,
Servants
I'm gonna
up.
sit down and
Attendants too. Not servants up.
He stands over you as he
Attendants,
places
guardians.
his hand.
Etc.
As you close your eyes and you feel a twinge in your
piss it off.
skull, you feel him bypass your mental wards and stops. If you don't mind, please remove your ring. It makes it difficult.
Please remove all rings and jewelry before entering the scan.
I thought he said remove your brain.
No, he's gonna do that for him.
He brings out a Bowie knife.
If you don't mind, please remove your brain.
Take it out, rinse it off.
A little polish.
And tries once again, this time
He's
less
got glitter in
invasive,
here.
less like a jawbreaker on a head. At first, it's non-invasive, like a warm blanket going over one's mind. And then it becomes pinpoints, harsh, and deep delve as various images flash through your mind, mental images that you do not recognize, you do not remember, and that are yours or not yours, you can't tell, and it all flashes so fast that you're not sure what's going on, and it's to the point that it's too much. I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yep. There's a lot of memories not there. Why do I feel like you should try this before?
Wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Woof.
Wait.
Alright, 17.
This is
17.
This is getting very.
You
Jeremy
feel yourself.
Irons
You see.
and timey-wimey.
You understand there is some sort of
I feel like
thing,
English.
multiple objects. You're not quite sure. So many things are happening at once. Something is fighting
As in-
back. You're fighting back? No, I'm not fighting back. Yes, you are. Possibly. As the mind is being pushed back and you feel your own mental psyche being fragmented and torn from the seams as the celestial form immediately retracts.
If it matters, it's 18, but okay. Got it.
You don't take damage, is what I'm saying.
Groovy.
For the rest of you, Nicholas immediately started shaking over a course of 10 minutes. A fragment of the time for you, of course. But for you, 10 minutes of just staring of two individuals locked in sightless eye contact. Hand weight over Nicholas's head.
Lingering eye contact.
No, the eyes are
Lingering
closed.
eye contact.
Oh, don't do it.
Lingering eye contact. Lingering eye contact.
And then suddenly Nicholas gasps. Sweat beating from the brow, a little bit of blood coming out of the ears and
Prolonged eye
nose.
contact.
And the celestial takes a few steps back, standing on the pool of blood at the surface only.
Why do
I do not expect such
You're so unfair, forced
ferocity. I cannot perform proper detanglements due to the compacting values and amount of times you have reset yourself.
reset herself?
There needs to be distractions of the mental demons inside so that I can do work.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Why do I feel like we have...
We've just been voluntold.
Specifically, Nicholas has tried to do this multiple times.
Correct.
And I have a feeling maybe we weren't here before.
You were not here before.
So
So she has tried to do all this once before, which is why we now have the 3 cold iron pieces?
I do not know of the cold iron, but I know of her. I know of her body, not her mind.
And you knew this.
Of course I knew.
There must
I
be.
didn't know I was in this version of it.
There needs to be someone to distract, if not occupy, possibly slay, these mental taxing moments while I
Accurate.
do what I need to do best. The more the merrier.
Oh,
But only if she is willing.
I volunteer as tribute.
What does it... Yeah, that's my question. What does it involve? Because are they allowed to touch stuff?
Oh, the damage we're gonna do.
You see my concern.
You can no longer taste berries.
Specifically berries. No longer
I
okay, not
mean,
berries.
a major concern of
There's a
mine. I
moment
eat
that
so
this
many.
pale white solar that is infinitely just non-complacent of anything that is impassive. Takes a moment to answer with the chuckling golden kobold in the background. And he's like, we and the Ravens will make sure that not lasting damage takes effect. We are the ones to heal it, not tear it apart.
That's our job.
They're dipshits and they break everything.
Hey,
Can you
hey,
stop that? I don't fucking care.
Don't
They're
group me in with
dipshits.
that bullshit. Don't group me in with that bullshit.
Are you saying you don't break everything?
I don't break everything. I break the enemy. I don't break your shit.
You have considered me an enemy several times.
No, I have not considered you an ally at various points. There's a difference.
Small difference, but it's a difference.
Can you stop that?
He's
He
a
takes a
planar.
few steps forward.
I mean, he's a planar. He probably can do it.
Kobold. Step forward.
Mhm.
Sorry, Solar. It's a solar.
You're standing
That's
at
right,
maybe half of his leg.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, not even knee height. Because this guy is
It's 9 foot.
20 feet tall?
not 20 feet tall. He's
It was
only
9 feet. You mentioned.
9 feet tall.
I think it was
At his
9 or
current-
7. I think it was
He's only 9
I
feet
think
tall
it was
right
9.
now. As both of his hands come down, as he kneels down, and as he gets closer to your head, radiant,
It explodes.
radiant yellow energy and black necrotic energy, and brings it closer and closer to your skull and places it upon you. I ask as an ancient servant of the Raven Queen. Play nice, and you will be rewarded.
You know, there's
Bribery for
not
the-
many people left who can offer me something like that. I'll play nice.
You
Right?
feel energy
Yes.
course through your body as a celestial promise has been made.
Wow.
Oops.
I've never broken one of those before.
Oh wait, there was that. He didn't mean it. It was fine.
And he goes to 1
He was
and
joking.
1. Then Sparks, do you make the promise?
To play nice?
Yes. To not. Okay, to understand what the promise is and what words are conveyed through his words, because his words are not exactly normal. Do not fuck up Nicholas's brain intentionally.
No, I'm not going to fuck with it.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, I'm not going to go fuck around.
Okay.
He's not going. He's neither going to fuck around nor find out.
You accept?
Yes.
You accept?
Of course, I do not intend to.
Do not intend to cause
You
harm.
accept.
Yeah,
Or metal
I
within her
accept.
brain.
Okay.
Oftentimes,
And
there are
each
things
one-
that are better not
This
learned.
combination of a necrotic and radiant power courses through your body, fingertips glowing as it hits every tip of extremities, and a celestial promise is made one by one as a ritual is prepared. And stones have been placed. Various ravens drop materials, crystals, dust, seemingly flying by, powdering certain areas that perfectly land in a ritualistic ceremony room on the floor, or circle, I should say. Please sit at the center while the rest lay down on the mats.
I don't lay on my back. I'm sorry. I don't do that.
He can't get up.
You can't. Turtle.
I'm a turtle.
He doesn't
Can I
raise his
have a-
eyes, but his head kind of leans forward, and he
Exception
suddenly
requested.
gestures
Just figure it out.
at several. You don't know where they got it,
You
but
didn't promise.
pieces of cloth, tapestry, and pillows thump, 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 in an area in a bowl-like shape.
All
Now
right.
that you can feel it, it's a fucking shell.
Oh, it's
He knows
it's keratin.
He knows it's there.
What, the sheets? They feel like linen to me.
Hey,
So as you sit
He's in the
down,
bowl already.
as you sit down, thunk, you're at. You rolled a natural 1 on his attack, so you kind of sat on him.
oh, sorry.
What?
That was that was unintentional. That was not intended. Oh, I'm not in her head yet, am I? Good.
That was the Ragipede that you just said.
Oh no! Shoot! Oh damn it!
You get up, and the Ragipede is currently unmoving on the floor.
Oh no, it couldn't have happened to a nicer arthropod.
Oh, whatever shall we do?
All right, I pull out one of my gooey packs.
You actually got a med kit.
Smear
You
it
heal
on.
it. You heal it. It's
Sorry,
still not moving.
I'm sorry. Can anyone wash?
It's giving you love bites. It gives you love bites.
Natural 20. It hits you.
Oh
Hey,
no!
the damage.
Make a wisdom saving throw,
Oh
please.
no! This is not good, guys. This is not good.
It's been trying to eat you this whole time.
And
You
you
get
still keep
no sympathy.
Stop it! Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Paralysis.
16 straight up.
You succeed. You do not go into a rage. Congratulations.
Oh shit! That's what's called a ragipede.
I'm about to rage on your ass.
You do take 1 point of piercing damage.
All
That is why it's called a ragipede. Oh.
Yes, it would not be fun. Yes.
Then you went to a rage.
Right.
I get it. Why do you have it?
Why not? I mean, really.
Why?
And as the ritual is completed, for better or for worse, as your mental consciences fade into a somber dream, and
I don't sleep,
Nicholas
this is weird.
prepares for entities to be, whether or not, be shoved into your head. We're going to end tonight's session there, and I'm going to ask Tanya, do you want to run your own mental world?
Can I answer that not this minute?
That's fine.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you.
That sounds cool.
That sounds cool, actually.
Yeah.
I would. That sounds like fun. Yeah.
Also involves prep.
No one wants to be in your reign.
Not after tomorrow.
Anywho.
All right. Well, sorry for the push for the last minute trying to
that's
get to
about
one
right.
spot.
No,
I've been
no.
trying to get to that
Makes
one
sense.
spot for a while. So either way, either I will be DMing, or Brian will be DMing, or Tanya will be DMing. We'll find out next time. Let's see what happens.
Based
when
on
you
that
call.
laugh, Brian will not be DMing.
So
I know
I
y'all
hope you
think I'm
enjoyed.
crazy right now, but I would really like this honor.
So
I would really like this
I hope you
responsibility.
guys had fun tonight. I know I
Yeah.
went on a little late,
No, it's fine.
and I hope you enjoyed it.
Stop it.
Stop it!
Till next
And
time.
goodbye.
Stay healthy. Stay safe.
Keep on
Take
rolling.
care of yourselves. Goodbye.
Keep on rolling. You fucked it. You got one job.
I cannot help but notice the world is not the same as when we all got started, and we know who's to blame. No turning back now to try to be insane. For what's beyond the veil, too vivid to explain. Faceless behemoths haunt my dreams, seeking to steal my sanity. I will not stand down, won't back away, as long as you're with me. Together we roll, together we roll. I'll fight for you, will you fight for me? Together we roll, together we roll. I'll protect you, just as long as you stand with me. Together we roll. The gods look down on us, we're just a game to them. Eldritch monstrosities at their unholy whim. But we will stand up, we'll shout a battle cry. The future beckons us and we'll stand unified. There's something coming and it's coming fast. We won't be frightened by the dead hand.